He's a #1 Amazon bestseller. He's an NLP manipulator. He's a property course seller. He's a Lamborghini driving multi-millionaire property guru. Forget that same old boring I am me narcissistic podcast format, because nobody gives a fuck. This podcast is all about you. So I'm taking these few seconds to thank you for subscribing, to thank you for leaving your 5-star reviews, and thank you for sharing this show with all of your friends. My team and I will keep bringing you these episodes and answering all of your burning questions in my Facebook community group called Property Crash Course. If you can just keep telling all of your friends about this show. So I decided to start this project for you guys. It's really me just putting together the best strategies which work right now in 2020 in the heart of the coronavirus, where I can just restructure what I'm doing to get it all out of my head and literally on paper, on the internet, on YouTube, recorded, documented, everything else. So you guys can just literally put your name in, put your email in, click the link, and then consume that content, which will give you all the ideas that you need, all the confidence that you need. Damn. I mean, it really is fire. And I've literally spent probably, my team have probably spent, without thinking time and everything else, and planning and structuring everything else, probably about a month's worth of work has gone into it. Fuck. A month's worth of work. And you know what's really funny? It's absolutely free. There's no back-end upsell. There's no, mentoring program on the back end. I mean, like some of these other people, what they're doing everywhere on every corner of the internet. There's none of that crap. It's just literally me just giving back to you guys, saying thank you to everybody who listens to this podcast, everybody who follows my content, and anybody that wants to literally change their life for the better. Anybody looking to replace their salary, anybody looking to, get their time back so they no longer have to exchange their time for money. I mean, damn. You want your time back so you can do whatever you want with your family, okay? Instead of having to literally exchange your time for money. So that's the reason why part of the reason why I put this together. Just to give something to you guys so you can understand exactly what investors are doing right now. I mean, serious investors, not somebody who just started out in property. I mean, I've been doing this for over 20 years now, since the millennium, when I first started to invest in property in the millennium, okay? Now, actually going back to the millennium, let me think about that. That was a 2-bedroom flat that I bought. I've just remembered. It was a 2-bedroom flat that I bought, and I couldn't even get a mortgage because of my position. I was studying, I was at university, etc. I didn't have, the pay slips and everything else that you need, and I was young, and I used a mortgage host back then. I'll probably go in depth about that in another episode. It's just giving me an idea to, I'll share that in another episode with you guys, where I can go a lot deeper. But yeah, staying on track today, I just want to talk to you about literally what's been happening, what I've been doing behind the scenes to put this together for you guys so you can actually see everything going on behind the scenes. If you're inside already, and if you're not inside this program, which is 100% free, then it's going to give you some ideas, give you maybe some inspiration, give you maybe the confidence to obviously head over to the URL, put your name and email in, join, and get instant access to this content, this training. And once again, it's 100% free, so there's no risk for you guys. Okay, so what have I been doing? I've literally put together this, it's a crash course. I've called it a property crash course. Now, I think the name is appropriate. I think the name's fantastic. I think it's perfect for the timing right now in this economic crash. So you guys can literally get everything that you need. So, it literally goes through 5 main things which worked in the aftermath of the 2008 crash, and they're working right now in 2020. Now we're entering this new period of uncertainty. So these strategies only work in a climate like this. Now, there's obviously pros and cons to that, but the good thing about that is right now, it's possible to buy a property for £1. Now, you probably think that's a bit crazy if you're not an investor, or you're not already doing deals, or you're not in this circle, or you're not familiar with the terminology and what's possible, which is fine if you're just starting out. But obviously, if you're not just starting out, then you completely understand that it is possible to buy a property for £1. Now, I go into this in a lot more depth when you head over to propertycrashcourse.com. Everything is there that you guys need. So just head across, put your name, put your email in, and it'll give you instant access to this training. And like I said, it's 100% free. So it will teach you how to buy a property for £1 with no mortgage deposit. I mean, you don't need any credit. It really doesn't matter, okay? It's literally a very, very simple concept when you understand how it works. Anybody who hasn't used it before or is not familiar will say it's not possible. And then also it shows you how to find properties with £25,000 to up to £50,000 instant equity that you can lock in on day one. And again, it doesn't cost you any more than £1 to lock in this instant equity. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy when you sit here now and just think about it. I'm thinking to myself, buying a property for £1. I completely understand and know how I felt before I knew this was possible, before I did any of these deals, which would have been somewhere around 2007, 2008 off the top of my head. Probably one of the first deals that I did like this, if I'm thinking back correctly. It would have been, around the aftermath of the 2007, 2008 crash when we first got into this, okay? Now, I was in this program, I put together how you can buy properties today, right? But then pay for them later. So imagine that, buying a property today, but paying for it later when it's worth a lot more. So buying as the market's falling, or as the market's crashing, or as the prices are declining, but then pay for the property later, and only pay for it later when it's worth thousands and thousands more. I mean, if anybody doesn't understand how fantastic that is and how amazing it is to be a property investor right now with all of these creative tools. I mean, these are only 5 which I'm sharing with you guys that work right now, and I put them all together so you can have them on your phone, in your ear, just listen to them, or just download them to give you basically everything that you need to have the confidence that you can actually go out and start doing this, okay? And then another strategy which works right now is renting HMOs. Renting student properties, and renting any property at all, but with a difference. Up to 75% below the market rent. I mean, that's madness. Who would think that's possible, to go out right now and see a property and rent it for up to 75% below the market rent? I'm doing these deals now. I've done these deals before. I did some of these deals at the end of last year in a portfolio that I took over. Again, it works right now. It's timing in the market. You'll be when you get inside and understand that, it's fantastic for anyone who just wants to get started. If you can imagine, if you just want to get into property now, you can just go and rent a property and then rent it for a lot more. So you just go and rent a property, which everybody could do in a few hours. Go on the internet, go onto Rightmove, or go onto Gumtree, or go onto OpenRent, or any other platform you prefer. Find the property, arrange the viewing, go and see it, say, yes, I like it, send them the money, enter the contract, and then boom, you're off. That's it. It really is that simple. Of course, there's certain things you have in the contract which just gives you the permission and the consent that you can then re-rent that property to somebody else. It really is that simple. But the twist is that you can get it for up to 75% below the market rent. So let's just imagine, instead of it costing 1,000 local market rent, you could get it for, say, 250. Even if you got it for 500, that is a massive margin of 500 to £750 every single month, which is more than the landlord would be making anyway right now, or even for the last 5, 10, or even 20 years. There's not many landlords that are making more than £500 or £750 a month on top of all of their expenses and maintenance costs and running costs and things like that. So I want you guys to head over there. It's propertycrashcourse.com. Put your name in, put your email in, jump inside, listen to all of the training in there, and seriously, just let me know what you think. It's completely free, guys, okay? And then another strategy, which is included in these 5 tactics you need right now, which is raising money from other people's properties that you rent. So let's just put that into perspective of what that means. Raising money on a property that you've rented that you don't even own. Raising money from other people's properties that you rent. It doesn't even make sense when I say it to myself again and again and again. Does it make sense to you guys? Raising money on somebody else's property that you don't even own. It seems like madness. Again, anybody else on the outside would not think this is possible because they just don't understand. And what you don't understand, naturally you would think it's not possible because you've never seen it done, or you've never done it, or you've never known anybody else to do it. And it just sounds too out there, like that's just impossible. They're just lying. They're just lying. They just made that crap up. Absolutely no way. We're doing it. We've been doing it for a long time. Raising up to £14,000 from a property that you have just rented. If you're an entrepreneur looking for the easiest and fastest way to replace your salary in 2020 using the latest property investment strategies that are built for the now, which enable you to replace the average salary, I'm talking about around £28,000 a year. That's without buying a single property. So that you can get your time back to spend those important moments with your spouse, with your family, with your children, and start earning what you're worth. Now, I created a 90-minute free training program that you can all watch right now. It's 100% free. Now, it walks you through a property investment strategy that enables you to pay the landlord £1,000 in rent per calendar month and collect around £3,000 in rent per calendar month. Now, this means you get to ethically keep that uplift, which is around £2,000 every single month per property. Now, if that's something that your family would benefit from, you should head over to www.perfectpropertydeal.com. That's perfectpropertydeal.com, and watch my free training while it's still up. Let me step in real quick. I share a ton of business and investment tactics on this show, and it's a shame that there's no interaction on a platform like this, which is why I've created a Facebook community group called Property Crash Course, where I get to answer all of your questions. So you just post a deal or post a question and I'll show you where the money is in your deal or answer your question for you. So help me to help you in your business right now by asking me anything you need help with. Does that sound fair? Just go to Facebook and then search the groups and then type in Property Crash Course. If you need any money to get started, if you need get started cash, if you need to prop up your business, if you need to reinvest that money into some cash flowing deals, which is exactly what I've always used that strategy for, not to buy dumb shit and go and put, 6 months down on a flipping Lamborghini that you lease, or a new car or something else, or a luxury holiday. Well, you can't even travel now anyway, so there'll be no holidays. But you use it wisely. It's money that you have to pay back. But if you can borrow it at 0% interest and get it like that by understanding this strategy, and then you move it into something else that's more profitable. Let's say you move it into more of these deals that I talk about, because they do need some money up front. They do need some mortgages or rents paid in advance. They do need some deposits paid. They do need some furnishing or dressing or styling. So there is some costs, of course. But you're going into business. whatever strategy you choose is a business. So there is some costs, of course. If this shows you a way or a path or a strategy or a tactic that enables you to borrow all of the money that you need, 100% of the money, at 0% interest, why would you not use this strategy? Only if you're mad. Of course you would use this strategy. And again, if you go over to propertycrashcourse.com, put your name, put your email in, I will walk you through, take you deep into exactly how to do these 5 things. Buy a property for £1, find properties with 25 to 50,000 pounds equity in, buy properties today, but don't pay for them until they're worth a lot more later. In 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, 10 years later, I'm talking about. And then renting student properties, HMO properties, any properties up to 75% below the market rent. That's massive cash flow. And then raising money up to £14,000 that I've done from properties that you rent. I want to make sure that you guys have got everything you need, all the tools right now in this climate, so you can obviously, achieve whatever goal it is you're looking to achieve. That's what I'm here for, to help any of you guys with that. This has actually taken me probably about a month of actual time with me and my team actually putting this together. I mean, it wasn't easy, and it's not even for sale. It doesn't make any money. It doesn't generate any money. It doesn't make any profit. It's just an exercise that I've done and put together to give away to you guys and anybody else who's looking basically for other ways to make money right now. Property is my vehicle. I've been in property since the millennium. I enjoy it. I'm passionate about it. It has its ups and downs and peaks and troughs and booms and busts and recessions that I've been through, all of them since the millennium. Way before many of you guys on here even got started in property as well. You know, that's 20 years. And what I've learned over those 20 years is there's hundreds of strategies. There's hundreds of ways to make money from property. And it just comes down to timing and what you're like as well. What you prefer. You may prefer to have lots of customers, dealing with lots of people. You may prefer to just work on one big project once a year, something big that you develop. You only work with a very small handful of people, and that might be what you prefer. But there's so many different strategies, okay? But it all comes down to timing. Right now, these 5 strategies that I'm sharing with you here and I've put together in this property crash course are built for the now. They're not built for last year. They're not built for 2019. Not built for a trend that everybody's jumping on. They're not built for something that everybody's exhausted, all of these guru course sellers. Fuck that. It's nothing to do with that. This is what works right now. And we had to pivot my company, and this is exactly what we're doing. This is what I did in the aftermath of the 2008 crash. I've used some of these strategies before the 2008 crash, and it's come around again where they work right now. But damn, it wasn't easy at all. I mean, I've literally had to record everything. So behind the scenes, I've been recording everything, sitting here in my office, documenting everything, putting some training together, putting this program together, trying to give you guys as much value as possible from doing these types of deals and sharing with you how it works and, you know, when you can do it and the negative consequences, the positive opportunities relating to that strategy and, you know, what is it all about so you guys know enough about it and all of those things. How does it work? The tactics and strategies. Oh my God. It's been a lot of work, to be honest, and I've had to create this, everything. I've created everything from scratch. So if you can imagine, if I go back to the start, I've recorded and documented all of the content for you guys. And then I've had to record videos on YouTube and send that off to my team. That's been a challenge alone, especially with the distancing, especially with the social distancing. And, you know, my guy that I use He works, or he's at university. So he's got all of the tech, all of the stuff that he needs, all of the programs, all of the devices, the computers, everything, the software in the university. And what's happened? The university's closed. So he's literally working on his laptop at home, producing the videos, producing the audio, producing the visuals and the sound effects and everything else that goes with creating something of value that I can, be proud about and deliver to you guys. So that's been challenging alone. And then there's the ClickFunnels. We use ClickFunnels to deliver this to you guys. I've got a membership site in there I've had for, a long time now. Again, we don't charge anybody for that. It's to teach and to train our partners, our joint venture partners that we find. We teach them everything they need to know about making money from property. They then go out and find the deals with my help, my support, me mentoring them. And again, we don't charge them anything. We partner with them. And then I put all the funds in and help them close the deal and basically hold their hand all the way and help them build their own profitable property portfolios in different cities around the UK. And right now in 2020, we're in 5 different cities in the UK. The last time I checked, maybe more. We're branching out into another one now, but we haven't got any deals there yet. So we're now in 5 independent cities. So this works. So I've got a membership site, which is in ClickFunnels, and trust me, that's been a nightmare alone. I haven't built anything in ClickFunnels for a long time, and there's been landing pages that I've got to build to house all of this content and to get you guys to put your name and email in at the start, and that has been a struggle alone, especially when you're going back to it when you haven't done it for a long time. But I know it's worth it, and I know you guys will get value from it. And then it's linking everything in ClickFunnels to GoDaddy, the hosting, and everything else. There's so many moving parts, and then linking all of that to Aweber, which is what delivers the content to you guys in the emails, and writing all the email sequences and the different strategies and structures, and then the content that goes with it, and the proofreaders, because I am diabolical at writing. Spelling, punctuation, grammar. It's never been good, and it's never getting any better. So everything I send out goes off to Josie, my proofreader. She's been doing it for probably, 8-9 years, somewhere around there. Everything goes to her before any of you guys see it. If you ever see anything that's got spelling mistakes and punctuation, it just means that I had to send you something at that time. And that's me. It's shocking. It really is. But it is so rewarding at the same time. I mean, putting together the Facebook group. We've put together a brand new Facebook group for all of you guys, everybody that comes in, and the emails that you get, and the strategies that I share and the tactics I share at propertycrashcourse.com, where you get to buy a property for £1, find properties with 25 to 50,000 pounds of equity in, buy properties today and don't pay for them until later when they're worth more. And then renting HMOs, renting student properties up to 75% below the market rent. That's massive cash flow. And then raising money up to about £14,000 from a property that you rent. That's what I've been working on, and that's why it's rewarding. But again, the Facebook group, it's sent out with every email. So all of you guys get to ask questions about every single strategy, every single tactic that I'll be answering just for you guys, because I want all of you to get as much value from this as possible. So I've put a lot of work into it, with me talking and structuring things and going through deals that we've done recently and old deals that we've done as well, and why it's the right time to do this. So I just want to make sure that all of you guys are making the most of, the time that you have at home now, making the most of the time that you have off. Some people are getting paid, some people aren't. It's tough times out there. But this stuff doesn't need to be expensive. You don't need to go and spend thousands to buy this stuff. Information is free if you know where to look for it. There's so many podcasts out there now. There's so many good people in the market, in the industry, that have no agenda to sell you something else later, so they only sell you up to level 10 in their value ladder. And they just want you to come in and get something free at the start, so then they can sell you something later. That's not really, well, I understand that's business, but when you don't rely on selling courses to make money, when you're actually doing or if you were doing what the course teaches yourself, if you're actually doing those deals, you wouldn't need to sell courses to people to pay your bills or for you to live that lifestyle, because you'd be making your money somewhere else instead of relying on selling information so that other people can buy the information. So maybe you don't have to actually do the deals, or maybe you just do one deal and then you sell the strategy of how to do the one deal, but make more money off selling the information on how you did the deal instead of making money off of actually doing the deals. That's where I'm the opposite way around. Doing the deals, making money from the deals. That's why this is free. 100% free. Damn, I put my best content out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times a week on this podcast, just to help you guys as much as I can, because I don't need to monetize my audience. I don't need to make money from my audience. I make money elsewhere in my business, from my property portfolio, from other investments that I've got, from other sources of income. So right now, guys, this is completely free. I just want you to head over propertycrashcourse.com, listen to the training, let me know what you think, ask questions, join the Facebook group. It's in the link. When the training is delivered, join the group, ask questions so I can help you guys with anything that you need. If you really want to make a success, if you really want to replace your salary, if you really want to get your time back, if you really want to provide for your family right now when they need you the most. I want to be the one that has shown you the path of how you can actually do that, and it doesn't cost you anything at all. I hope you get some value from this episode. I would love to hear your thoughts, so hit me up in the review. Let me know what you think about this. Leave your review on Apple Podcasts. Let me know what you think about this episode, and I'll see you on the next episode. He's a #1 Amazon bestseller. He's an NLP manipulator. He's a property course seller. He's a Lamborghini driving multi-millionaire property guru. Forget that same old boring I am me narcissistic podcast format, because nobody gives a fuck. This podcast is all about you. So I'm taking these few seconds to thank you for subscribing, to thank you for leaving your 5-star reviews, and thank you for sharing this show with all of your friends. My team and I will keep bringing you these episodes and answering all of your burning questions in my Facebook community group called Property Crash Course. If you can just keep telling all of your friends about this show.